young parents were murdered in South Bend on July 20th, 2013. One of the victims was a father, 29-year-old Dominique Jackson. He was killed after bullets pierced his car as he drove down a Northwest Side neighborhood street. More than 5 years later, questions still surround Dominique's murder. Who did it and why? With your help, detectives from the St. Joseph County Metro Homicide Unit hope to find his killer. Tonight in the next installment of Michiana Unsolved, Kim Shine looks back on the case and introduces us to the family Jackson left behind. Kim?
Mo, there is an indescribable void in the hearts of Dominique Jackson's mom, fiance, and now 6-year-old son. By all accounts, Jackson was a hard-working guy with no enemies. And in just a moment, you will see and you'll hear how the family continues to cope with their loss and learn why investigators believe that the shootings that night are connected.
I like that part, and I keep on singing it every day.
Dominique Jackson Jr. loves to watch his dad's videos on TV. When he's at his grandma's house, the 6-year-old spends part of his time like this.
Twin.
Rapping and dancing along with clips that now make his dad immortal.
And he looked at me and said, "I'll be right back."
But Annie Jackson had an eerie feeling the night her son, Dominique, left her house on July 20th, 2013.
To this day, I think about why didn't I just say, "Why don't you stay?" Because he probably would have said, "Well, okay."
Annie says Dominique was making a quick trip to his cousin's house, but soon after he left, someone was banging on her door.
Miss Jackson, Dominique just ran into a fence. It don't look good." I was like, "What? Ran into a fence?"
So Dominique Jackson was traveling northbound here on Huey, driving his dark-colored Mustang.
Detective Brian Cook with the St. Joseph County Metro Homicide Unit recounts what happened that night in the 1300 block of North Huey.
Just missing this tree and coming up through here and ultimately ending up right here into the fence. So he would have been sitting right about in here.
And Jackson, who worked for the Studebaker National Museum, was found in critical condition with a gunshot wound to his neck.
He was proud of that car too. He really loved it. It was his fancy car, as he called it. It was like
My fancy car too.
Yeah.
Dominique and his fiancée Yolinda had been together for 8 years.
I tear up every time I talk about him because he was a really big impact in my life.
Before his murder, he'd given Yolinda a birthday surprise, keys to their first house as a family. It would need some work, but that was okay. Investigators say the 29-year-old was a good, clean guy with no enemies, but they do believe that his murder is connected to a second deadly shooting that happened the same night outside an old car wash around here in the 1800 block of Lincoln Way West.
The same senseless type crime.
20-year-old mother Jarena Bailey was killed during a gang shooting about 30 minutes after Jackson.
Certainly the names that have been involved circulating with both those are the same names we're hearing. This isn't a secret. I mean, this is not a secret.
While Bailey's murderer sits in prison, Jackson's killer has lived free for 5 years, and investigators say someone has the information they need to solve this case.
I think we're very close. It would be nice to have a couple of people come forward and say, yes, I was told by these guys that I did it. Yes, I seen what happened.
My first thought was, how could they take my baby from his baby? Because the most thing he was looking forward to was raising his son and having his family.
Trying to raise him to be a man without his father it's a hard challenge. But just looking at these pictures, I didn't realize how much I missed him until I saw his face again.
I just love my dad, and I like him. And I wish we'll just go drive the Mustang to the cemetery, go get him some flowers, put it on there, get a new cross, put it on there too.
And the family still has Dominique's Mustang. They fixed it and they plan on giving it to little Dominique when he's older. And he already knows this, and in a bittersweet way, he's very excited about it. But if you know anything about who shot Dominique Jackson on July 20th, 2013 in the 1300 block of North Huey, please contact Metro Homicide or even Crime Stoppers at the numbers on your screen. Your tip could help put a killer behind bars and bring peace to this family.